Hey friends, it's Thursday. I hope everyone's doing okay. Again, every video I'm like, I know things are intense right now. Um, but I'm here with my video and I'm gonna keep doing it just because y'all are awesome. I will say this is embarrassing. I know from my background what this sounds like if you're skeptical. Um, anyway, I know. I'm like my professors in grad school. I'm like, have they seen me? And are they probably like, what WTF are you doing? But part of this journey for me, and this is the topic, is don't believe me, believe your own experience or believe yourself. And I think that's a really important thing to internalize on this whole spiritual journey or your whole awakening journey or your healing journey, which one of my I'm going to say colleagues. He was a client, but he said that in my class this past weekend. It's like he really realized healing and spirituality or spiritual awakening have almost they're like the same thing, which was the case for me too. So anyway, a lot of my journey has been believing my own experience and believing it over what everyone else tells me. Um, and that's an intense journey. And I think that we're all on that journey, like just knowing what your actual internal reality is because you can't escape it. You can think you can ignore it for a very long time, like I have done over and over again, but eventually you kind of need to come face to face with yourself and love it. Love yourself in that void, I guess. So, um yeah, I do wonder what people that I've known throughout my life have thought about my experience. Honestly, the coolest ones are very cool with it. My true friends are cool with it. But I did hide it from everyone for a long time. Uh, but when I finally decided to start sharing, it was because I knew what was real for me. I knew my experience was true for me. And I had so much evidence in my own life that it was real and true and in my own way verifiable. Um, and I guess that's all I have to say today. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Basically, just that, trust, it's one thing to listen to me and thanks for trusting me because, like, y'all don't really, some of y'all know me, but I'm just out here on the internet saying some stuff that happened to me. But what's really important is how it shapes your own experience. Has anything I've shared or anything like helped you make sense of your own experience or think about your own experience? Um, I mean, selfishly, I kind of hope we're all about to have what happened to me. Not selfishly, but I think it's possible we're all going through what could be a collective awakening, and I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm kind of hoping that at this all this sharing has a purpose for everyone. Otherwise, I'm just sitting out here talking. Um, so yeah, believing your own experience. That's kind of what happened to me after my trauma. Everyone told like basically the story was that was my fault, and I should be ashamed of myself for waking up on the laundry room floor. I didn't know how I got there. Sorry. I mean, it's like an intense trauma. Talking with a friend this week is like, what other traumas did you have in your childhood? I had like a really good life. Okay, my parents were kind of intense, but also really good parents. I had a nice house. I went to nice schools. Everything was so good. And then I had it's such an intense traumatic experience. But healing from that required me to believe my own experience over what other people said. And it was also the other part of that, there's like a two-part thing I've been asked to basically do to heal all the way, which is also me personally, that's kind of what I'm doing here. Um, so believing my own experience about my trauma and about my spiritual awakening. And also my trauma was very public. Like there were people watching, there were people spreading rumors about me after. It was an extremely painful thing to go through. And to like I hated my own name. I never wanted to say it out loud. And that's part of why I heal under my own name. I do everything under Rebecca Kastl. And I don't know. I have to be able to be like, actually, what other people think about me doesn't matter if I know the truth about me or I know the truth about my own experience. I think this is valuable in like a valuable journey for me talking about it. Hopefully it helps you trust your own experience and know that, you're worthy and beautiful and loved no matter what other people say or think about you, what really matters is what God thinks about you. And God loves you. Like, I'll skip ahead. That's what God loves you. Um, yeah. So basically, my whole journey has been like the bad side of that, and then like the good side. I can't say everyone's gonna love my experience. It's been interesting being public on the internet. um and everyone has really strong opinions about this stuff, and all I can share is what changed my life and all the love that I felt. Like, sometimes I do try to make sense of it in different human contexts, but I've kind of been guided that I really just need to share all the love I felt, like, about just how much love it was. And yeah, I had some pretty mystical cool things happen to me, but it was just to align me with love and get me on a journey, on a path that was, like, truly aligned with love and light and God and peace. And in that way, it's, like, really simple. It's, like, a very simple thing that people get, like, really intense about, I guess. But mostly people are cool. Uh, yeah. But yeah. I face a lot of fear. Like, every time I share my story, I go back, like, I'm healing that part of me that was traumatized and had, humiliated and had rumors spread about me. And then I'm like, okay, I'm healing that part. I love myself. I trust myself. I know my experience. I'm okay with loving myself. It doesn't matter what people say. And this is like the deepest healing, but I don't think I can opt out of it. I've thought about opting out of it. I tried to opt out of doing this. If you've seen that video where I talk about kind of the journey to me starting to share, I really did try not to do this for a long time, but this was like the highest, best path for my own healing, and also for the promise I made, which was to, share light with people and live by the light and help other people live by the light. Um, my soul was really in charge that night that I wrote that, because I didn't really understand what was happening in my personality. So that is kind of what I wanted to share about trusting your own experience and trusting it over what other people say. I'm doing that, and you can do it too. Okay, I was gonna say something else. Oh, I think I'm gonna not talk about religion anymore. I had a huge download as actually with Jesus. Sorry, I was like, it was really just that God is love, and religion is often based around fear. And I always was trying to fit it. I had this huge healing experience. I was like, I guess I better figure out like the oldest problem on the planet. I don't think that's really my journey. I think, or that's not really like what I'm here to do. I can just tell you about the love that healed me, but I do exist at a crossroads. I realized this week, like I said this to Betty and I said this to another friend, like I have 4 walls in my house, basically. One is Christianity from my mom's side, one is Judaism, one is the indigenous spirituality, and then the other one's being from New Orleans. So that's where I live. And I think sometimes I think Christian people find me and they're like, oh, I found a Christian influencer. And then they're like, oh, I don't know. And then, or like my Jewish friends are like, oh, this is great. And then I talk about Jesus and they're like, ah. So I just live in this house. I have these 4 things, and you don't have, like, I just think whatever is good for you. Like, if what my experience helps you make sense of your own experience, or if I just, my box is very strange, but I do know what God's love feels like, and it feels amazing and healing and feel totally seen and great. And that's all I'm going to be sharing about from now on as much as I can. And so you can feel that in whatever context you're from. Okay. What else was I going to say? Oh, okay. Last thing. Okay. Not too long of a video this week. Okay. I have glasses. When I shared with Dick Dingus's group, the Virginia Beach IANS group, he's just really like an aficionado about near-death experiences and spiritual experiences. He knows quite a bit. And so, every time we talk, like he gives me, like, he told me this when I talked. So the end of my spiritual experience in 2008, I had this really strange download thing where I was awake into the middle of the night and I wasn't asleep. It was like, and I could feel the sacredness of all of human life on the entire planet. I've shared about this before. It was like so sacred. It was just like this aching love for everyone and how beautiful we all were and how sacred we all were. And anyway, and then we were all going towards a cliff. And that was like a really intense, like, we're speeding up towards the cliff. And that was way back in 2008. And when I spoke with Dick Dingus's group, he said, oh, well, there's some other psychics. I don't consider myself really, I don't know. Am I a psychic? I don't know. Other people, like this guy named Melvin Morse, Complicated History, but he submitted a paper for this, like, now I forget what it's called, but it's like a competition to prove that spirituality is real, and he won it last year. And it was basically interviewing a bunch of psychics and psychic mediums and like their like where humanity is. And it was really kind of verifying, because a lot of the stuff you can't verify. It's just like you have an experience and then okay. But he's like, oh, several other people saw that humanity was going off a cliff. So I'm going to read you part of that so you can say, oh, okay, we're not going to go off the cliff if we love each other. That's the whole point. I think we're going to be okay if we can love each other. But here's my glasses. However, they typically play the hands-off role of parents watching their child learn to walk. Like this is like your angel's guide's source creator. Although repeated failure is part of the process, parents will intervene when safety is an issue. As one entity said while showing an image of two women driving a car purposefully off a cliff, that is what free will can bring you. They explain that Earth is a learning center or spiritual school in which benevolent entities expertly and subtly guide human existence. Okay. I will link this report. So that's one. I was like, a cliff. Someone else saw a cliff. And then there was another part of a cliff. So this other person's talking. I have about her spiritual experience or their spiritual. I have a sudden feeling of being carefree, wild, raw. Wind is blowing in my hair, and we, humanity, are going off a cliff and then going to die. This is a warning, being wild and free and where it gets you. Freedom is needed, not feeling free. I don't know. I like freedom. But I thought it was interesting because, like, oh, other people have seen this cliff thing. And it was not, I don't even know what it meant. It just, I think it was like if we don't like live loving lives with all of us on the planet, like it just was showing me that we're all sacred. And I don't know what the cliff is. Is it AI? Anyway, other people saw it. I'll link that report in the description. And I think that's it for today. Believe yourself, believe your own experience, believe your heart, believe what you know to be true for you. And yeah, if anything I share helps you do that, then I'm very thankful. Also, thanks for sitting with me. I'm not trying to traumatize y'all every time. I don't really try to talk about my trauma that much because it's just like heavy and we all have our traumas. But at the same time, like this is the same. This is like what I went through when I was 13, like flipped on its other side so I can share about it and like be healed. And you can do the same thing. I know we all have our private traumas. We all have our private worlds. Like you have to bring that into the light and into the love of God and know what you actually have experienced and what you're actually feeling. And that is more important than what anyone says about you. I'm doing it. You can do it too. Okay. Love y'all. I'll see you next time. I'll see you Sunday. Okay. Bye.